gamble.
You know I'm a degenerate.
Gambling is a very serious business.
Why didn't you say...
Take away reason and accountability.
Is that clear?
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Legendary NFL Picks here at Steelers Sanctuary. I'm with my fellow degenerates, Bob Quinn and David Korab. Zach Franciscus could not be with us. His wife's not feeling very well. We hope she's feeling better. Hope to get Zach back soon.
Get well soon, honey.
Yes, feel better, honey. I guess we should start out with some news that Kaboli broke before we get on. Just before we get on here, TJ Watt is not 100% healthy according to Mark Kaboli, and he's going to have limited snaps, especially if the Ravens beat the Browns, according to Mark Kaboli. This is not good news for the Pittsburgh Steelers going into this game, guys. This is just another thing to deal with.
Well, I mean, you wonder, did he aggravate it? Or is it just, hey, I'm not 100%, and he hasn't been 100% for 2-3 weeks now?
It could be either or. I could see him having aggravated it in that last game. I mean, do we think he was 100% healthy or just got rushed back because that Kansas City game was do or die? I mean,
it's a mixture of both, I think.
Yeah.
I think that he just wasn't 100%, tried to rush it on top of it, and now he's just not there. He's just not doing well. I'm at a point where, fuck it, just sit him. Like,
yeah, I think with that, I think they should sit him too.
TJ Watt for the playoffs. What are we doing here? Like, why even fucking show up? Like, they're 1-50 without him. Like, I just sucks.
You know, the difference between going to Baltimore and going to Houston, though, is like, whew. Maybe play him this week and rest him for the Texans game.
I know. It's just that you risk him to where it won't matter where you go.
Yeah.
I will say our depth's better this time. I mean, Herbig and Highsmith is a lot better than what it used to be. We'll put it that way. So, I don't know.
I get a heavy dose of Preston Smith too.
Yeah.
Good news is, though, I mean, there's talk. Unless something's happened here in the last hour or so, Chase Brown might not play.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
really?
and T. Higgins is also questionable.
Oh, jeez, I didn't hear that either.
That'd be incredible. One of them did fucking play.
They left Jermaine Burton at home because he's got some kind of disciplinary issues.
Yeah, what the hell? I was like, I saw that.
He was an issue in college too. That's why he kind of slipped, because the kid's talented, but you would think with being on a team with Burrow and all those guys, Chase, and they'd keep him on the straight and narrow, but apparently not. I want to ask you guys a question before we get to the picks. Have we seen the best of TJ Watt? Are we starting the slippery slope downhill?
I think so. I mean, it's
too.
hard to maintain that. Is he going to break the NFL sack record again? I doubt it. I think the good part for the Steelers is the downside of TJ Watt's career is probably going to be 12 to 15 sacks,
which is fine.
Yeah, but you just get the feeling he wasn't the impact player this year that he was, even though what does he have, like 12 and a half sacks right now?
We're so
11 and a half.
20-something sacks that, but we knew this was coming. I mean, we're getting to that age where it's going to start. And now that they're double teaming, chipping them, and they've figured out a way. So, I think
he's going to be 31 next year.
Yeah, it was coming, dude. It's coming.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
This draft is deep in edge. Do you draft an edge in the first round?
Not in the first round, I don't think.
Yeah, not in the first round. I think we figured out what they need in the first round, Dave.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Top
it's a good point.
Maybe. I mean, but to me, wide receiver and corner are extremely important right now.
Yeah, and defensive line, that's a low-key need too.
True.
I agree. All right, let's get to the picks. We're going to get too far in the weeds here. Let's start out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting New Orleans Saints. They're giving New Orleans 14. Buccaneers could still make the playoffs.
Right.
Right. If they win, they're in, right? So.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
because they're a game ahead. So if they win, they're in.
Yeah.
I hate Week 18 for betting because
tough. It's tough.
If one team's got a chance to playoffs, the other one doesn't. Vegas gives the other team 14 points, like this one. And there's even bigger spreads we'll see later on.
Oh yeah, I saw the one. I was like, Jesus.
So
Who the heck's playing quarterback for the Saints this week?
I have no
It's
idea.
gonna be Rattler.
Heiner again?
No, it's Spencer Rattler. Carr's out, Kamara's out. I think Olave is probably gonna be. I mean, they're not playing their starters. They're not playing their star players.
They packed it in.
They packed it in. Yeah,
It's in Tampa. Man, I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Oh
The
my
Bucks
God.
should win easy.
Dude, Mayfield's gonna want to throw for 600 yards. You kidding me? To make sure they make the play. I mean, he's gonna go all out. So, yeah, I don't like these big spreads, but like that's one where I'm like, you have a team actively tanking and a team trying to make the playoffs. I think 14 is probably a fair spread to go. I'm gonna go ahead and say they cover.
I think they might be a little tight at the beginning of this
Good.
game because of the playoff implications. Jeez, I'm at
It's
Kamara
tough,
not
Bob.
playing. Chris Olave is probably not. Olave is not probably. I hate this big spread in a division game, but yeah, I can't see with the Bucks having everything to play for. I feel like they win outright. I probably wouldn't bet this game and I probably won't bet this game for money. But if I did, I would take the Bucks on the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find anything of a final injury report, like with them, just to make sure that it's definitely none of them are playing. I'm not finding anything here.
Okay.
Olave is questionable, and the Saints are expected to make a decision on him later on Friday. That was 2 hours ago. So that decision hasn't come down yet. But I know for a fact, Alvin Kamara is doubtful. I just saw that. That just came up. Derek Carr is out. Spencer Rattler will start. Yeah.
I think
that's
the
what I saw.
backup Kendre Miller has a concussion too.
No, I just found another one. No, Derek Carr, Kendrick Miller, or Alvin Kamara at Saints practice today. Peyton Turner returned, and Pete Warner was out of there again, and Olave continued to work with the offense. So, but why would you play Olave in a game that's meaningless?
Yeah, well, the guy with that so many concussions, that you put that guy down for the season. Yeah,
So
you don't
Spencer
play
Rattler can throw him a hospital ball and
Yeah,
he's
no.
done forever?
100%, no.
There's no way. There's no way.
Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles are hosting the New York Giants. They're giving the Giants 2.5. Eagles are not starting many players either. I don't think they're starting Hurts, right? They're not. Saquon Barkley, this would have been great. Saquon Barkley, if he played in this game, could have broken the NFL rushing record against the Giants.
Yep.
Can you imagine
Little Buzz, he's
Wellington
not
Mara, the
happy.
owner of the Giants? Barkley's
Not
not happy? I don't blame him.
Little Buzz today that he
I'll
doesn't
bet.
love the fact he's not playing.
I'll bet.
I mean, you get a chance to set the all-time record. Granted, it's asterisk because it's a one extra game, but still, and to do it against your former team that didn't want to pay you.
Look, boys, Drew Lock to Neighbors is money. I'm taking the Giants.
Ooh, it would be so Giants to win another game and end up with like the 8th pick.
I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. I don't know why.
Are the Eagles going to play
Other than
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith?
No, they're all out.
No,
All
I think
out.
they're benching everybody.
I came across it. It said every single one of them is out. Both Kenny Pickett and Hurts are out. They're not even playing Kenny Pickett. Well, he's brittle.
Who are they playing at
and
quarterback?
got
That
injured.
actually might be better for Philadelphia. I like that third string quarterback.
Who is there? I don't even.
It's like it's a weird name. Hold on.
But they're literally their whole starting offense is not playing.
Tanner
Barkley.
McKee, I think it is.
Oh, McKee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he did really well. Didn't he do really well when he came in?
Thought he
after
played
getting
better
hurt?
than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. Drew Lock to Neighbors. I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants to win here. It's crazy.
You know what? I think I might take the Giants too.
It's one of them things.
Yeah, I get it. Giants play better on the road. I think there is some animosity. You know what, though? I got a sneaking suspicion, as well as the Giants played last week, that they will go Drew Lock and the Giants. I'm going to take the Eagles here.
I mean,
Okay.
nobody can fault you with that. Really.
Next up, the Green Bay Packers are hosting the Chicago Bears. They're giving the Bears 10 points. The Packers don't have a lot to play for in this game, do they? Or is there
I was
seating involved?
going to
here?
ask you guys. The seating's
Let me look it
important
up
for
real
them.
quick.
And the Bears are a disaster. Like, I don't.
Yeah, there is seeding. They could possibly get the 6th seed
There you go.
if they win and the Commanders lose. So
Okay. Yeah, they're going to play then.
Aren't they locked into the 6th seed right now? But
according to
they
NFL, they're
could
the
lose
7th.
this. They're the 7th. The Packers are.
Yeah, according to
Wow.
NFL, I'm on it right now. They're tied. They're both 11-5.
So the
they would
winner.
need-
Yeah,
So the Packers need this game a little bit. I don't know.
dude, because that's a big deal. That's the difference in going against the 2 seed, which could be
The Eagles. Yeah,
Eagles,
the Eagles locked in it too.
Minnesota, or whoever.
Or the difference between the Eagles or the Rams.
Right. So
That's huge.
They're gonna play. Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah,
Play. So I'm taking Pack to cover.
yeah, I gotta take the Packers too.
Yeah, the Bears are cooked and done, and this is in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yep, Green Bay for sure, easy.
Yep.
Which means they'll lose. But
The New England Patriots are at home, getting 2.5 against the Buffalo Bills. They say Bills quarterback's going to start. He's got a big streak, right? Iron Man streak of games started, but he won't play. I don't think he'll play much. Patriots say Drake May's going to start. I don't know why. He's kind of dinged up. I would bench him this last game, but he's going to play. So, and if Patriots have the number 1 pick, they could be, if they win, they could blow that number 1 pick. So,
I'm taking the Patriots.
Are you?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I'm taking the Pats.
Bills have nothing to play for, right? They're locked in.
Yeah, they're locked in, dude.
Yeah.
They're locked in. They're gonna sit these guys. Patriots might want to finish on a high note. Might be playing for his coaching for his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I it's a these games are all weird, man. You just don't
They
know.
are. This week sucks for gambling.
And didn't the Pats give them a game last time with them playing Josh Allen?
yeah,
Yep.
they started really slow, but then the Bills, overtook them. And
but it was a big, decent game if I remember correctly. So now with no Bills players starting, then I
don't know. I think there's still.
I'm tempted to take the Patriots. I really am. So I think I am going to. I'm going to take the Pats.
the Bills' offense is going to play. It might only be a series, might be a quarter.
Yeah.
But they're not going to stick Josh Allen out there with backups. They're gonna play the starters at least at the beginning of the game.
I think there's still bad blood in Buffalo because I think the Patriots won like 12 or 13 games in a row against the Bills when Brady was there, maybe even more than that.
And
so,
they ran it up a bunch of times too.
Yeah, I think any chance they get to stick it to the Patriots, they're going to. I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm all over Buffalo on this, even though we'll probably see a whole lot of Mitch Trubisky.
Mitchell.
That's some of that. That's why this is at Patriots with Mitch Trubisky. I don't know.
He didn't do so well last time, right?
But the Bills know how to use him. They really do. They call things for him that he makes him look good. I'm telling the guy who's going to have a huge game in this one is Ray Davis, the backup running back for Buffalo. He's gonna go off.
Good call. I think he's a good ball player. I really do.
Oh yeah,
he's a good ball player. But I don't know, guys. I feel like the Patriots are going to try to win this game. They're going to try to win the game in front of the home crowd to go off on a positive note.
I think Bob Kraft might run out there and kill everybody.
They already have their quarterback, right? So the difference in the number 1 overall pick and the second pick, they already know the other team's going to take a quarterback probably.
Yeah.
So,
but there's some trade down stuff. You could get a package.
Yeah, and not if the Jaguars get the first pick. Because the Jags and the Patriots, I think, are the Travis Hunter sweepstakes. I don't think.
Okay, this is a good thing to bring up. So it's what Giants, the Pats, Giants, Jags are all being for the number 1 overall, right?
I think the Titans are in there. Third right now.
Is it 4 teams then? I thought the Giants, because they won last week, so the Giants lost that number 1 overall pick.
Right now, it's New England with the number 1 pick, the Titans the second, and the Browns the third.
The Browns third?
Giants fell to 4th, and Jacksonville's 5th.
Wow. Damn.
The Browns could get a quarterback. Cam Ward would be perfect for them. He's Jameis Winston reincarnated. It would be so perfect.
That'd be hilarious. Man.
Yeah, Tennessee too. They're going to get a quarterback.
It's going to be. I mean, so you figure the Giants are going to be, if they get the number 1, they're taking a quarterback. Vegas, but then New England isn't. I think Carolina's in the mix too, aren't they?
Carolina is 6th right now.
Yeah.
I was going to say they can't be.
New England trades out. If they get number one, the Raiders will give them like 3 number ones to get Shador.
But this is my whole point. Like the difference between a 1 and a 3, you're still going to get almost close to the same package. It's top 3 pick. So that's why I'm not. I don't think they're.
No, but there's only 2 quarterbacks, so
They've
you can
got-
only go up.
But they've got their quarterback, so I don't think
Yeah.
it's that important to them. That's why I think they do want to win this game and finish on a strong note.
I'm sure they
with
want
that
to
coach.
win, but
Oh,
the coach definitely does because he's on the hot seat for sure.
Right. So I think they're going to play hard. I think they're really going to. I think they're going to pull it out. I really do.
It's not in the Patriots' nature, traditionally, but I think, they never quit on Belichick. They weren't very good, but at the end, but they never quit on him.
No.
I think a lot of people don't like Mayo. I get the
He's
sense
thrown the team
he
under the
is-
bus a couple times this year.
Yeah, I don't think his team likes him very much. So
I don't know.
We'll see.
I think the
for it
Bills
to be
are,
under 3, that tells me something.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really thought that they were going to blow them out, then the spread would be a lot closer. I mean, a lot further out than this. I mean, this is saying this is going to be a close game. So,
yeah.
I'm going to take the home team in this.
All right. The Atlanta Falcons are hosting the Carolina Panthers. They're giving the Panthers 7.5. Falcons got to win and hope the Buccaneers lose. This is one of the few playoff. There's only 2 playoff spots left, right? Falcons,
Yeah.
Buccaneers in the NFC, and in the AFC is the Dolphins, Bengals, and Broncos. Let the Broncos having the upper hand if they win, they're in.
And amazingly enough, the Dolphins.
Are they
Yeah.
still alive or are they dead?
Yeah, they're still alive.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. They still are, right?
Yeah, but they're not playing Tua.
Yeah, Tua's out.
Tyreek Hill got sick
Tyreek Hill
today.
retired 3 weeks ago.
Well, he got sick today too. So, we'll get to that game soon. But the guys, Penix looked really good the other day for
He
the
did.
Falcons. He looked
Falcons
good.
Penix looks good. I told you that coach likes to run boots and quarterback stuff like the bootlegs and stuff like that. And they couldn't do that without Penix. Now that Penix is in there, he's running his offense, and Atlanta looks better.
Yeah. So I don't like 7.5. I hate that half-point shit, but
Yeah, I think the Panthers.
I still think the Panthers lose. I think the Falcons cover. I really do.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the Falcons too. This should be a blowout.
it should be, but it won't.
It's
With
in
the
Atlanta, too.
Panthers,
I-
you never know.
The Panthers,
I-
you don't know. You just don't know. You don't.
I'm taking the Panthers in the points. I think, Penix has been okay. I don't think he's been fantastic, and I think the Panthers would love to play spoiler here. I mean, 7.5, big margin for a division game. Yeah, I'm hammering the Panthers here. Go the Fighting Middle Schoolers.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I really don't. It's one of those things.
All right.
Panthers are tough to really predict.
Yeah, they've been all over the place. Every time when you think they're dead, they play good, and when you think they're going to play
Yep.
good, they roll over. Who knows? All right, next game. Dallas Cowboys are hosting the Washington Commanders. Dallas is getting 6.5. Commanders need this for seeding. We talked about this. Man, I don't know. I would wrap Jaden Daniels up in bubble wrap and leave him on the bench for this game. I wouldn't let him play this.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. Do you want to go play the Eagles again? Because last time you beat them,
Yeah.
but you beat them in Washington. You didn't look great. 2.5 quarters, they looked pretty good in Philly.
Yeah, well, Jalen
But
Hurts
then-
got hurt that one, right? That's how they ended up winning that game.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. I mean, if I can get the Rams at the 6th seed, I can win a playoff game. I'm going all out here. So
Yeah.
I think the Commanders, Daniels plays, they get up big. Dallas, nice story, that they came back but I think it's now that it's definite you've lost 9 games. There's no difference between 9 and 10. I don't think McCarthy can draw some big effort without CeeDee Lamb and all those guys. So I think the
Micah
Commanders.
Parsons is hurt again too.
Yeah,
he's
I
hurt
think-
again. Like
I feel like this could end up being.
a blowout.
Yeah, well, I also think, these NFC East teams, while the Cowboys are down, they remember. Dak got awful fat and made a lot of money off of the fake statistics beating up on the NFC East. So I think the Commanders may want a little payback here.
No, there's no doubt. So
Did McCarthy come back? He's had a pretty good season without Dak. I mean, they've done fairly well.
It's kind of my brother's a huge Cowboys fan. It's kind of that question of, are you okay with not winning the play in the playoffs, and just yeah, he had a losing season, but he's coming off 3-12 win seasons. But they're a one and done kind of team in the playoffs. Maybe they get to the divisional if they're in a wild card, but they haven't been to an NFC Championship game since Jimmy Carter was president. I'm sorry, Bill Clinton was president. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's interesting.
bad.
I'm going to take the Commanders in this one. I think.
Yeah, I think they cover no problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're not going to play
I do
Micah
too.
Parsons. There's no fucking way. If he's hurt again,
Yeah.
they're not going to risk it.
Yeah, he's done for the season. Why would you?
I wouldn't. I mean, good lord, they shut down CeeDee Lamb 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't shut down Parsons 3 weeks ago. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah,
I think they really wanted to try to finish 500. I really do, and I think up until last week that was the goal, and it looked like they might do it.
Yeah,
but
they
when
were
lost
close.
last week. Yeah. Now at this point, there is no reason. There's no okay. We got to 9-8. You're going to finish with 9, probably 10 losses. There's no reason to risk anybody.
Yeah.
All right. This is a nothing game. The Tennessee Titans are at home, getting a 1.5 from the Texans. The Texans are locked in. They can't go up or down. Titans are done. They want to hold on to that second pick.
Officially, Levis is starting.
Yeah. Why?
Why? I don't know.
Maybe they want to make sure they lose this game and keep the second overall pick.
That's what I don't under. That's why it's hard to pick this, because I have no fucking idea which way to go with this, because the Texans, I guess, are resting their players, because I thought I saw that none of them are playing. So,
Yep.
if the Titans are trying at home, I'd like to think they could cover the 1.5. So I'm gonna go Titans, but I don't feel good about it. That much.
I think the Texans have to. I think CJ Stroud is going to play at least a little bit in this.
Is he though? I didn't know that. See, that's the thing. Like, I didn't think he was.
I mean, it's kind of up in the air. There's no definitive, but there's from the Houston Texans writer Jeremy Brenner on Sports Illustrated. He thinks they're going to try to win the game, and that may involve playing Stroud. I anyway, I go on the Titans. I seem to lose on them every week. So
No doubt, right?
yeah, I'm going Texans here.
So officially, the Texans have ruled out Danico Autry, Jeff Okudah, Shaq Mason, Foley Fotokasi, Christian Harris and linebacker Jamal Hill. Let's see. Yesterday, Nico Collins was limited. Christian Harris was. Joe Mixon had got rest. And Jeremy Tensel
We see
got rest.
Deontay.
I'm trying to. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You might probably need some reps with that offense.
What
to
in
get
the
going,
world?
right?
Brian Callahan said he will play both Will Levis and Mason Rudolph on Sunday.
I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah,
That team's
yeah.
a disaster.
I'm done. I changed my mind. I'm taking the
Yeah,
Texans.
that team's a disaster.
I don't know what idiotic shit they're planning on doing there with Tennessee. I'm sorry, Bob. I changed my mind. I'm
Yeah,
taking the Texans. I'm done.
Here's what he's thinking. I'll get down 30. I'll put Mason in, and we'll lose by 10.
Yeah, yeah. I now that I'm seeing all this idiotic shit coming out of there, yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Texans and be done with it. Jesus.
All right, in a meaningless game, the Indianapolis Colts are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're giving the Jaguars 4.5 points. I don't know. Mac Jones has been fairly decent in his start with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Been okay. The Colts are a train wreck.
Function of throwing the ball to Brian Thomas, but
Yeah, Brian
This
Thompson.
time, Richardson is out and Flacco is starting.
Yep.
Uh,
It's in Indianapolis.
maybe a career for Flacco. He may be, hey, this is it.
yeah,
He might let it fly for this one too, right? What does he got to
Yeah.
lose?
So I'll take the Colts to cover.
Yeah, I'm just taking the Colts because they're at home. I have no, I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's really
Jags traditionally don't play well in Indy, but
I don't like the 4.5.
yeah, I feel like this is a field goal game. I'm going to take
Yeah,
the Jaguars in the points.
See, and that's what makes me want to do it. He's the same way. I'm saying, like, these teams are so bad. The last time they played, what was it? Jags won 10-6. Wasn't it something weird or ugly? It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Steichen may be coaching for his job. I heard there's been whispers that he might be
Ooh.
he might be going. He'd be a nice OC for the Steelers. It would be a nice OC for the Steelers. It would never happen, but
No,
I mean,
but
yeah, if he hit the market, I can't imagine.
Jen said
yes.
this week's a shit show. Who the hell knows? Yeah, it's tough picking these games,
Yep,
Jen. Believe me.
correct. Have no fucking idea. Trying to weave through this, but yeah, I'll just take the home team to cover. Colts. I don't like it. I bought it. I think
it's tough.
you're very probably accurate in what you're saying.
Yeah, I figured this game might come down to 13-10.
Yeah, they're no doubt in my mind.
The Denver Broncos are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. They're giving the Chiefs 10.5. When was the last time the Chiefs were 10.5-point dogs anywhere? Pre-Patrick Mahomes.
They're
for sure.
resting their first and second string, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the Broncos need this to get in the playoffs.
Yep. So I would.
They have to have it.
At 10.5 though, man.
That's a lot of points, man. I know it's
It is.
Kansas City's backups and it's in Denver.
But Kansas City's such a well-coached team. I
Yeah.
can see there being like they win by 10 at most. But God, I still feel like Denver needs this game badly. So I would like to think their starters can put up like, a 14-point spot on them. I'm gonna go Denver covers again.
Yeah.
Don't like it, but whatever.
Bob, what do you think?
I'm going the other way. I think the Broncos may win this game, but wouldn't it be the most Steeler thing ever if we lost to the Bengals and the Broncos won and the Bengals still don't make the playoffs? It'd be kind of funny, actually. But that being said, no, 10.5 is too much. I don't, the Broncos, they generally don't blow good teams out, and I know they're playing, but at this point, there's some guys for the Chiefs. Even when you get down to their 4th, 5th, 6th wide receivers, those guys are pretty good. So
This is my chance to catch Bob. We're going opposite on a lot of these.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I'm going to end up with the worst record. I'll be worse than Zach, and Zach's not even.
yeah,
I'm taking the Broncos.
Go ahead.
I'm taking the Broncos. I think they're gonna put it on the Chiefs a little bit.
We got no
Chiefs
choice to
backups.
go opposite of Bob, bro. So
Yeah, I know, right? We got to catch them.
I'm giving you a chance.
You give me a
All right.
chance.
The Las Vegas Raiders are at home. They're getting 4.5 points against the Chargers. The Chargers are playing for seeding still, so they're going to try.
Yeah.
Harbaugh said he's playing all their starters.
And Abdullah's not playing for the Raiders, who did really well for them.
This is going to be a Charger
Running back.
blowout.
So
The Chargers are going to.
I would like
kill
to think
them.
Chargers kill them. Yeah.
It's going to be ugly. I'm taking
Yeah.
the Chargers for sure. There's going to be some
Bob,
Davy dollars
for
on the
a second
Chargers.
there, I
Yeah.
thought you were saying no. You don't think so?
Nope. Here's what I'm thinking.
To be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
Nice.
Yeah. I love the Chargers here. I've been on the Chargers all, the Raiders, they're a funny little bunch, but this is a chance to play the Texans, a chance, Jim Harbaugh has never beaten John Harbaugh. So that could be very interesting, and he may be doing everything he can to avoid that. So yeah, I think he goes all out to win the game. I agree. And if the Chargers are going all out, the Raiders are going down. So,
Yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way.
Yeah, for the record, this is my lock of the week too. This one should be automatic. Next up, the New York Jets are at home. They're getting 0.5 point against the Miami Dolphins. I guess the Dolphins still need this, but like you said, Tua's not playing. So, is it Huntley?
Played last week.
Is that correct?
No, he's
Dolphins
officially not
shouldn't.
playing. He's officially not playing. Tua's officially
Yeah.
out. Tyreek Hill got sick today. He's got some kind of illness. I'm gonna take the Jets to win.
Really?
I am.
Is Rodgers playing this game? I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah, he is. He's playing.
Oh, he's on 499 touchdowns. I heard, so he needs one
Yeah.
more touchdown
He's
to get 500.
He's gonna want to finish. Yeah, that's why I think they're gonna go. The Jets will win this. If Tua's playing, there's no doubt in my mind. I'd take the Dolphins. Like, despite
It's in New York
but,
too.
but it's in New York.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have something to play for.
With
right?
who though? They're gonna with Huntley? Tyler Huntley? You think he's gonna be good enough? They couldn't barely put up 13 points with him at quarterback.
I know.
So
I'm going to take the Dolphins. I don't know why.
now I will say this: the caveat to this is that Sauce Gardner is not playing. That's the only thing that makes me like, But even Vegas doesn't know. It's a half a point is the difference in this. So, like, man, I would like to think at home, the Jets with Devontae Adams, Rodgers, and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, I would like to think they could maybe beat a, no Tua Dolphins team. That's embarrassing, dude. Embarrassing.
Oh, their whole season's been embarrassing.
Yeah, just an embarrassing organization. If you lose this too, good Lord, wipe the slate clean. Get rid of all of them.
It's a tough one.
Oh, it is. It's tough, but I would like to think Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall can do enough to outdo the Dolphins without Tua and with the Cheetah being sick.
Huntley scored 20 points last week. It is a cold weather game, but Tua's not involved, so the Dolphins, I think, actually have a better chance with Huntley in the cold weather. I got to think you're playing for something. I think it could very easily be Rodgers drives down the field, gets his 500, and comes out of the game.
Yeah. So, could you imagine if he gets it and goes, I'm good.
Or if I can almost guarantee you that's what's going to happen.
He did that last week. He told me, hey, we're down 30. I think it's time. Let's
the only reason he's even playing is because of that. Otherwise, he wouldn't play this game at all. He'd be like, fake injury. I'm going home. I'm not even going to be there.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, this is quintessential coin flip.
That's like 4 or 5, Bob. You and I are opposite. I like it, but I also hate it at the same time. I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah, let's throw the standings up.
Oh, we forgot that.
See, can I?
Dave, me and you, dead heat.
I don't think we can even catch Bob. I mean, that's a 7-win.
7's too much to make up in 1 week. You'd really have to fall on your ass this week, Bob, for us to catch you.
That's true.
Well, I got to pick like opposite him about 2 more times here, so I guess I'll just be forced to do it.
Don't forget, we have the playoffs still.
True.
Oh yeah, but that's not a lot of games, but yeah.
That's true.
I mean, if he does this week,
maybe we'll clean the slate for the playoffs and say,
no, not if I'm within a game of you. No fucking way.
Okay.
No.
We could do both playoffs and total wins.
Yeah.
No,
the Los Angeles Rams are at home. What's that?
We're doing this all the way to the end.
All right. The Los Angeles Rams are at home. They're getting 6.5 points from the Seahawks. I guess the Rams are benching players, even though they have something to play for.
A lot. They're benching a ton. Kupp's not playing. That their offensive line that have Steen, hasn't been healthy, but there's a ton of guys not playing. I was like, whoa.
Dave, Jimmy G, our Lord and Savior, is playing. He's playing. He's starting for the Rams.
My man. I still think they lose. Man.
He's not cashing checks. He's actually playing this one.
Man, that guy. That's crazy. Oh, guess who popped up on the no, Jen, we don't need to encourage it. Let's just anyways. What was I gonna say now? I lost my train of thought. Shit.
Who popped up?
Oh, Seahawks. Just give you a heads up. Just popped up a little bit ago. Is that the quarterback?
Geno
Smith?
Yeah, I can't. Sorry. I just woke up like an hour and a half ago. I'm trying to wake up. Yeah, he's hurt.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Let
me that changes things.
It does. Let me go ahead and
I was going to take the Seahawks in this. I'm still going to take the Seahawks in this game.
I think I am too, because Geno Smith is limited today with a biceps injury on his throwing arm.
Is he a free agent? I think he's a free agent. No, he's not a free agent.
We didn't get the injury report until after Mike McDonald spoke, so no word on that yet. But Smith doesn't have a game designation, so he's definitely playing. But he does have a bicep injury on his throwing arm.
But he's still playing. Yeah, I'll take the Seahawks.
So I'm still going to take the Seahawks to cover. But, man, that makes me uncomfortable. A bicep injury in your throwing arm, all it takes is one bad throw, and he's toast. Oh, I don't.
Bob, what do you think?
We're going opposite again. I don't feel. I mean, yes,
I like it.
I like Jimmy G, but who's the backup quarterback for Seattle?
I don't even know.
That's a good question. Who?
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, I feel like I I feel like the Rams at home. If this was reversed, if Seattle was at home and the Rams were resting, yeah, I'd say Seattle wins it. But no, maybe no Geno, or let's face it, a bicep injury. He's going to be limited.
He is. I know. That's why I'm like, ugh.
Sam Howell is the backup quarterback for the Seahawks.
Ooh, that's
I like
he's
Sam
pretty
Howell.
good.
See, I think he's not bad.
Yeah.
No, you said Rams, so it's over. Yep. So
I'm gonna stick with the
anyways,
Rams.
moving on to the
I
next one. Yep, next one.
actually, you know what though, the Rams have burned me the last 2 weeks because they played these ridiculous.
He's talking himself out of it, Dave. Just
God
screwed.
damn it! We're so
Yeah,
close.
it's too many points. I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Fuck.
The Rams have been winning games 6-3, 13-9. 6.5 is too big of a number with Jimmy G.
The Rams are resting a lot of guys. Like a lot.
Yeah,
of
they're resting a lot of guys. That's McVay does that a lot. That's his kind of strategy going into playoffs. Hey, he's won a Super
but they're
Bowl.
not
So.
fighting for anything apparently. Like
No.
that's why I was kind of taking.
Oh no, actually, they could lose. They could lose their seed. I was listening to this afternoon. They could still. Let me look this real quick.
Are they in or out already? So they're in.
They're in.
They're in. Okay,
So
I got it, guys.
They could lose their seed to Tampa Bay, right? Because Tampa
Yeah.
Bay beat them heads
Yeah.
up.
They don't care because guess what? Cup's out, Puka Nakua's out, Kieran Williams is out, Alard Jackson, Kevin Dotson, Rob Havenstein are all sitting out. So they're they're tossing this game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But Bob, Geno Smith's arm, like it's really bad.
I agree, but Kenneth Walker,
are you
DK
sure you
Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith
I
and
don't-
Jigba are all going to play.
I don't feel good about it. I know
Sam
you
Howell's
don't.
gonna ball out.
I can switch your pick. It's no,
No,
problem.
I'm good.
All right, the Arizona Cardinals are at home. They're getting 4.5 from the 49ers. Who knows? Who cares?
It's the same for 49ers. They're all their guys ain't playing either.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Cardinals. They're going to win this game at home.
Yeah, I'm taking Cardinals to cover the 4.5. I like it, Bob. You're thinking
Go Niners.
that a boy. Go Niners. Let's do it.
Purdy's playing, right?
No.
Oh, Purdy's not playing?
No.
Who's their backup?
Oh, it's oh, who is their backup? He played.
should have
for
done
them.
some research.
He played recently for them. Oh, isn't it the guy that's like Allen? His last name's Allen too.
Josh Dobbs is starting. I'm taking
Josh Dobbs
the
is
49ers.
starting. That's right.
Dobbs.
That's right. Josh Dobbs is starting. Yep.
And you're taking the 49ers. I like it. Very good.
Oh,
Very good.
I almost might want to change my pick because Josh Dobbs is starting.
Look at you two. I like this. This is good. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm taking the
Go ahead.
49ers too. Go
There
Josh
you
Dobbs.
go.
I'm going to root for Josh Dobbs. My man. All right. In a game that actually means something, the Detroit Lions are hosting the Minnesota Vikings.
Oof.
The Vikings are getting 2.5 points. It's a tough one, man. This is a tough one.
It
It's
is.
a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah.
For me, the deciding factor is that the Lions are putting up 30 points plus a game almost every game. Almost. While
They
the
won't punt in
Vikings-
this game. He'll go for it
Well-
on fourth down every time.
While the Vikings are staying in the 20s a lot more with point production. It's,
Yeah, but the Vikings haven't played the Lions defense, which is terrible.
and
Just-
God damn it, the Vikings are getting back. My God, my brain. I'm sorry, it doesn't want to work. The running back,
Aaron Jones?
they're getting Jones back. He's playing,
Yeah.
so that's what it kind of made me want to lean that way. But when I look at the point production, I'm like, I don't know, man. The Lions just put up so many damn points.
I'm taking the
Okay.
Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings.
I think
It's-
at this point, because of attrition,
Yeah.
the Vikings have a defense that might get one stop, maybe two. And I question at this point who, it's not like the Vikings have been tremendous on defense, but their defense at this point is a little better.
It's a
They
lot
have been
better
playing
than the
some
Lions.
close
Yeah,
games.
Vikings got a good defense. They do.
What happened the first time these two met? I know it was early in the season.
It's close. Vikings lost 31-29.
Yeah.
Well,
When
And that's what-
I was looking it up earlier. If I remember correctly, the Vikings lost 31-29.
Is that the last time they
Vikings.
lost?
What's that? The Vikings.
Is that the last time they lost? They've won a bunch in a row now, haven't they?
They've lost twice. They lost to Rams. They lost to the Lions, and then they lost.
They lost back to back to the Lions and Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
that basically is the last time they lost.
I just at home with the Lions, that crowd is going to be going bonkers. Just think about what that crowd's going to be like.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
So
Well-
I tend to go with the team that puts up more points. They're at home. I'm going to go Lions.
I think this game is going to come down to a Dan Campbell gamble that he loses, and I think O'Connell might be the best coach in the NFL right
Yeah, I agree with you, 100%.
Bob, I think that's officially 7. We're opposite of each other.
Sweet.
It's either going to be close come Super Bowl time, or it's
Or,
a wrap.
That's a wrap before the playoffs start. Yeah, one or the other.
I'll be in 4th place come next week.
All right, the only 2 games that matter to us, the Baltimore Ravens are given 20 points to the fighting Bailey Zappies and the Cleveland Browns.
I'll jump right in.
Go ahead.
I don't think there's any way in the world the Ravens cover this spread
No,
because
I agree.
at 20 points, I mean, Cleveland always plays them tough. Now they're going to be pissed that they lost. I get it. And the Ravens are usually really good at beating up on bad teams. And if DTR was playing, this line isn't low enough or high enough. But he's not. Bailey Zappi marched into Pittsburgh with, let's face it, a pretty bad Patriots weapons and embarrassed the Steelers last year. I think he might do it again. I think he marches into Baltimore. I don't want to say they're going to win the game outright, but I'm just
Don't do it,
saying.
Bob.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Bailey Zappi to Jerry Jeudy might just have some magic for the Steelers. But that being said, I don't think there's any way they cover 20 points. I wouldn't bet on them covering 20 against the Panthers. No way.
So you're taking the
I'm
points,
gonna-
right?
I'm
gonna take
taking the Browns with the points.
I mean, I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they absolutely waxed the Browns. I think the Browns have quit. They're done. They stink. Bailey Zappi stinks. You know,
I'm taking the points. I think the Browns are they want to try to upset them. I think that they
they might want to try.
Myles
If it was in
Garrett
Cleveland-
is going to be going all out to be sack leader or whatever, and then they'll use that as a reason why he's the best defensive player of the year or whatever.
He's got to if he puts up 3 sacks against the Ravens and they win, I still don't think he would give it to a guy in a losing team, but he's going to have.
He would win it. If he had 3 sacks and they beat the Ravens, he's winning defensive player
Well,
of the year.
it's hilarious to
He's
hear
winning.
them talk about, if he's leader in sacks, then he should be the winner. It's like, really? That's weird because we've had a guy that was killing him in that stat, and you guys were like, that his pass rush win rate's what matters. So it just cracks me up. They're idiots. I just this spread is just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I can't go at this spread. It's just too ridiculous. To me, it feels like a trap. So
It might be 21-0 by the first quarter. That's how bad this game's
I
going to be.
get what you're saying. I do. It feels like a trap to me. He's right. Bob's right. Billy Zappi. I mean, the guy's
He's
he
terrible.
goes in there and every once in a while does his thing.
You guys are clouded because he beat the Steelers, but the Patriots always beat the. It's not the same. He's terrible.
I don't know. I don't like the spread. I don't like it either. So I'm gonna take the points.
All right, and the last one, the Steelers are getting 2 at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. That says a lot. That speaks volumes. We already made our predictions. I said 38-28, I think. Didn't I say 38-28, something like that? I don't remember what I said. 38-28, I believe.
You said 30-28. You taking the Bengals or Steelers? I forget.
Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals.
Oh, that mean green dude would be so pissed at you right now.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him to come back. I still have
He ain't coming back because you were dead on, and
I have a bone to pick with him.
he doesn't want to eat crow. So, but look, for me personally, I think that the Steelers are going to get it right. If Trice does play and start, he's technically, I think, a better cover corner than Dante Jackson.
He might be.
With quarterback, I think communication might be better too. It's at Steelers, so if we went into their house and we put up 44 points against them. So I would like to think the offense does pretty good this time again against them. So I think we win. I'm making it my lock of the week, boys.
Ooh,
Steelers win.
Lock of the week.
Oh, I like it.
Oh.
For me to go back to above 500 in locks of the week, I'm taking the Steelers as my lock of the week.
Oh, Dave, you
Right.
should have gone with us.
I'm probably insane and wrong, but yeah, whatever.
What was your prediction for the score?
34-30 Steelers.
And Bob, what was yours?
I say it's going to be ridiculously high scoring. Joe Burrow
that's right,
goes
you got
out with
an
a
eye
bang. He gets to 50 touchdowns, and it's 45-42 Steelers on a last-second Boz field goal.
Yeah, I wanted to correct myself. He only has 42 touchdown passes, so if he does get 50, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, I was saying, that is a lot.
I don't like my 45-42 then.
He needs 360 to get 5,000 yards, though, and he could easily put up
Oh,
360.
he could do that. I could see that.
So-
Yeah, no problem. But we'll see. I don't know. I would
just
like
got a
to
bad
think-
feeling.
I know.
I
I
got a-
don't blame you. It's been a rough 3 weeks, so I really don't blame you. But I
I got a
would
bad
like to
feeling they
think
don't win
get
another
right.
game this year. I got a bad feeling. This thing is,
They've had, was it 9 or 10 days to prepare for this game?
yeah.
Technically,
There's no
It should be
excuses. I mean,
very
well,
healthy,
TJ's not playing,
minus
so
Watt,
that's
so that kind
yeah.
of puts a damper on things if he doesn't play.
Yeah, Watt not playing is huge, man. I'm sorry, it's just huge.
And that game being before the Steelers game was what could put a wrench in this.
Yeah,
Like, for as far as prediction go, like if Baltimore wins, Tomlin could say, you know what, fuck it.
it's
Why?
still
Why risk it?
it's still the difference between Baltimore and
It is
Houston.
Houston,
It
though.
is. But
And
he
that's still
could, but you know how they think, man. They're so, I don't know. The Steelers are so conservative with everything they do. So I could easily see them going, nope, we're not risking it. Especially TJ Watt. That's a guy that if they lose, I could see them being like, nope, TJ's not playing. Period.
In a game like this, I don't think it's as big a deal. Normally, not having TJ is never good. But
No.
a game like this, I don't know that. Although Marius Mims is questionable, and if he can't go, you're going against the third string tackles. So you got to think that Alex and Herbig and Preston Smith can get home if that's the case.
they're gonna need to.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me see if there's
but
any updates
I
on
don't
the
think
Bengals.
I don't think you can risk letting the Chargers. I mean, you just got to assume the Chargers are going to beat the Raiders. So if you're committed
yeah.
to getting the best possible seed, you gotta play it to win the game. So I mean, I don't know. But that being said, I mean, if TJ, I would do the whole 100%, test with him. But he wasn't 100% against Baltimore. He wasn't 100% against
No.
Kansas City.
Nope.
Why is Tomlin all of a sudden going to wake up and bench him this game?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think-
it's still all these guys are listed as questionable. There's no official thing on any of them. Higgins,
Yeah.
Brown, Mims, Taylor Britt, a couple other guys that are just second, third stringers. But I don't know, man.
I could see that's a good point, Jen. I could see
Yeah.
him. I mean, if you put him on a snap count and say, "Hey, look, you're only going to play on third down," okay, maybe third
Yeah.
and longs and things like that. But he's also TJ, so he could end up, hey, I'm in uniform, I'll sneak on the field.
Steele Nation said, I don't know if Tomlin ever lost 4 straight games before getting in playoffs while already clinching with the starters. We should win a fast-paced action game. We need to win to gain momentum. I agree. They need to win
They do.
to
They do.
have any momentum for the playoffs. This would be huge for them, but I just don't see it, man.
Well, with
The
TJ,
way the Bengals are playing.
they're not gonna
it's-
risk it with TJ.
And
If
how
the Baltimore
healthy
wins,
is
they're not gonna
JPJ really? How healthy is JPJ really? I mean, he's not going to be 100%, so you're looking at that. Jackson's out. They're already having communication issues in the
Oh,
secondary.
Jackson's officially out.
Oh, I don't know if he's out, but he's questionable. He might
Oh,
not
okay.
play. They're saying Trice is going to start. Who knows? This team's, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's
They peaked in November. It's bad,
yeah.
Yeah.
and it's been downhill.
very reminiscent of the. I heard Starkey today going off about it. Very reminiscent of that year after the Super Bowl where they started 6-0, 2009 team, and they just lost 5 in a row down the stretch.
Oh, that was a horrible time. I remember that time frame. That was a horrible 5-game losing streak. Oh,
yeah,
awful.
That was the Unleash Hell year. So.
Yeah.
No, I think a lot of guys are playing for their jobs tomorrow. I really do. I think Russell Wilson is playing for his job that I don't think will be with the Steelers long term, but I do think he's auditioning for the rest of the NFL at this point. You know, I think George Pickens is auditioning. I think Landon Roberts is auditioning. There's a lot of guys who I don't think are going to be back next year. Let's face it. I mean, at this point, for the first time in a long time, the Steelers don't have a good locker room. There's a lot of problems, and it wasn't just Deontay Johnson. He was a big part of it, but it wasn't just him. And Starkey, I heard must listen to our podcast because he was making the point I was making at this point. You know, Santonio Holmes, Martavis Bryant, Antonio Brown. You know, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. I mean, a lot of guys who we get credit for getting the most out of their talent, and they didn't do anything anywhere else. You know, did we ruin those guys? Did we just not develop them and let them be such jerks to the point where when they went somewhere else, they were headaches for someone else?
That's a good question. I tend to be on the side that Tomlin held them together as long as humanly possible, and then just said it's time to go. And he's got a good knack for saying, I can't do it anymore. You know, I can't do it.
And he put up with a lot with them. I mean, my God, Brown had his own like camper or whatever at training camp. He didn't even stay in the dorms. I was like, wait, what? And Tomlin let him do that. And it was just like, wow.
Yeah, well, Starkey's point was a good one that, hey, at this point, you're giving him credit. You know, maybe he gets too much credit for the Antonio Brown thing. We haven't seen anywhere near the level of production from Antonio Brown, but we still get the diva wide receivers. So it becomes, and there's a lot of them in the NFL. But at this point, when you get 7 or 8 of these guys in a basket and say, okay, what's Tomlin doing to allow these guys to act like this?
Yeah. He doesn't.
I don't know.
He gives them more. He just tolerates them more than most people would. But he also drafts these guys because he thinks he can reach them guys. Yeah. He thinks he can reach these young men. That's why they get the good wide receivers. Why'd this guy fall the second round? Why'd this guy fall the 4th, the 5th, the 6th? And we all know why now. Because they're bad apples, and he thinks he can fix them, reach them, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes it goes really well with them. But eventually it all leads to the same spot. They're cut, traded, whatever. And they go on to do stupid shit with other teams, and their career's over. Dude, Chase Claypool had 12 touchdowns in his first season with the Steelers. This guy's gone now. This is 4 years later. The guy's gone.
What happened to that dude?
12 touchdown season for the Steelers in his rookie year.
Which you usually don't see a Notre Dame guy do that either.
Right. But
and he had talent, speed, size.
He fell in the second round, though. So why?
Yeah.
I mean, what, 6'4"? I mean, guy
he ran a 4.3, right? Or a 4.4?
4.4, 4.4, 6'4", 200, what? I mean, but yet the guy fell in the second round. Why? And then you draft him. He 12 touchdowns, but he thought he was going to be the second coming of Juju with all the stupid social media stuff. And then look what happened. And the Bears did us a favor.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the most idiotic move they ever made. And
Bull Durham line, $1 million talent, 5-cent head.
Yeah, that's it. And it really is that. I mean, that guy, I thought, oh my gosh, the Steelers did it again. This kid's incredible. But then he kept talking and doing that same stupid shit that Juju did. And look, don't get me wrong, I liked Juju, the person. Like, I thought he was an alright guy. But he was doing a lot of shit that's distracting and just not things you want Steelers players doing. And then all of a sudden, boom, Claypool started doing it too.
I think about Juju, we talked about it a lot, is he walked the walk. You know, he did do his stupid stuff, but there wasn't a tougher guy on the field than Juju.
But that's the only difference between him and the rest of them. is
Yeah.
that
Probably why Juju is still in the league in Kansas
Yeah.
City with a
There you
couple
go.
of Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
you took the words right out. That's what I was about to say. Is that he was still going out there and doing his thing,
Sacrificing his body.
sacrificing his body. You know, he wasn't going into business for himself. You know, he was going out there and still doing the walk. You know, and that's why he's still around.
Yeah.
Steelers Nation says 2020 is a year I never want to talk about. Forget it
Yeah.
happened. Yeah,
It's
I
tough.
hear you, buddy.
I'm sorry, 2013 is tops for me.
That's a tough one too.
Yeah, there's been
I-
a few tough ones.
That
Yeah,
was the year they
nothing tops the
drafted.
Tebow to me.
That was the year they drafted Bell. Wasn't 2013 when they drafted Bell?
Yeah, I think he might have been a rookie that year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got the Liz Frank injury, and he hardly played. Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
man, what the hell?
Nothing
All right,
really.
let's do a few.
Yeah, I was
Go
going to say maybe losing to Blake Bortles.
That for me. That was the one. I was like, that defense, man. They couldn't stop the run for any. That was just
That's a tough
horrendous.
one too.
That was bad.
Letting them put up with Blake Bortles
40
some
points.
45 points.
It's almost. It's not almost. It is. It's inexcusable, man.
It is
The way that game went down,
I-
inexcusable. Another one of Tomlin's, questionable playoff coaching.
God, you guys are
You know,
making me
things.
feel
And
really
in fairness
fucking
to the
shitty about
Jaguars,
this
though,
week
I
and
will.
next week.
The Jaguars were a bullshit call away from going to the Super Bowl, and Miles Jack. He won.
They did play well the next week against New England. They played pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some over-unders and get out of here. Prop bets. The official over-under for this game is 47.5. This is going to go over, right? This has to go over.
I'm hammering the over.
Yeah, I'd go over. I'd definitely go over. Yeah.
I mean, Bengals
struggling-
defense stinks.
A struggling defense versus a shitty defense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's
I can't
not a
see this
recipe for-
being under 47.
No.
Over-under Joe Burrow, 3 touchdown passes.
Ooh, this is a tough teaser. I've been looking at this teaser.
I'm
going over.
I could see 4 touchdowns from him.
I can see it too.
Hey,
Based on my score, I'm going to say over.
If Brown don't play, yeah, they're gonna sling it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that when I was doing this. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this: if Chase Brown does not play, I really feel good about the Steelers' chances.
Yeah, their
Their backup running back's pretty good, isn't he?
Khalil Herbert, he's okay. I mean,
He's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a different team. That threat of the run taken away, you could
Yeah,
tee
he's-
off on Burrow.
He's a good running back. He's solid.
He definitely is. He
He's a good
definitely
running
is. George Pickens is sitting at 900 yards receiving, over under 1,000 yards receiving for his season, or over 100 yards receiving for the game, however you want to.
I think he will. I think they're going to feed him after what's happened this week. I think they're going to try to make their boy happy. I think they're going to see him have like fucking 10 plus targets.
because of
tend
the
to agree.
defense he's facing. Yeah,
That too.
Yeah.
I mean, if he lines up and they're going to do one-on-one with him, and they're not going to have no safety over the top, they better fucking target him more one-on-one.
our buddy Relic's not here, so you know who he'd say throw it to.
Little sidebar, quick prediction. What happens to George Pickens? Do they let him play out his contract? Do they sign him to an extension? Do they trade him?
He'll play out. They're going to draft another wide receiver, and he'll have 1 year with Pickens, and then Pickens will move on. That guy becomes the number 1 wide receiver. That's how they do it every time. That's how they do it every time. That's how they've done it.
I think George Pickens is a little too valuable to let him just walk free agency. If you're not going to re-sign him, just trade him.
Yeah, it was Juju with Brown, and then it was Claypool with Juju, and then it was Pickens with Deontay Johnson.
I think they had a sneaking suspicion Juju wasn't going to have a market.
So
That they knew they'd get him back on a 1-year deal.
I'm just saying,
Steeler Nation, you should have listened to our last podcast, buddy. Roman Wilson is not playing, and we cannot figure out why for the life of us.
Steeler Nation
For the
was
life of us.
on here yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah,
listened.
he
listened.
Oh, that's
I
right,
think
you were.
towards the end though.
Yeah, we were talking about in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah,
He's not active for this game. We don't. Well, he's still. They haven't activated him from his injury
IR,
reserve, so he can't play. We don't know. That's a fucking mystery that we'll never figure out.
Again,
And-
CPAT has more snaps at wide receiver than Roman Wilson has.
Yeah.
Getting
put
back
things
to
in play.
Pickens for a minute, Caboli, Fittipaldo, these guys, most of the people who cover the teams all say the same thing. You cannot bring George Pickens back without
Yeah.
a new contract.
You're right.
Because
Because he's gonna be a
about that.
pain in the ass. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, so you think that's why they trade him now?
Yes. I also think he's going to get very insistent the minute the season's over. I think he's totally done with Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith.
Ooh,
And of
I was
all
about
the
to
guys,
ask. Could he ask
all
for
the
a
guys
release?
out there, because there's been hints from the Georgia guys and a little bit from Najee. They came from big time SEC programs to where, hey, why is this so loosey goosey? Why is this so we just do what we want to do? And let's face it, Steelers facilities are what they are. They get graded low every year for a reason. I think Pickens could be the one Steeler who leaves town and blows it all up on the way out. Says, fuck Tomlin, fuck this, fuck.
You might not be wrong.
Yeah,
That'd be
and
crazy because Tomlin has gone out of his way to protect that kid the whole time he's been here.
But I've never seen somebody be so. I think I talked about this before with you guys. Where like Pickens is so he doesn't control it at all. Like at least with Brown and them, it took a while for them to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like when they drafted Brown, that was what 2010. They drafted him. Yeah,
Somewhere
they drafted
they
him
played with
2010.
Ben.
They drafted in 2010. They didn't have their first blow up with him to like 15. His first craziness started.
If
Yeah,
you
around
believe
15, right?
Yeah, well, if you believe Ryan Clark, I think it was maybe 13 when the fight occurred
Right,
with
but
Bob.
that's 3 years later still at Bob. With Pickens, literally, I think his rookie season, you saw him losing his fucking mind on the sideline, right?
Yeah, because they weren't using him.
Right, but that's not my point. My point is that this kid was losing his mind in his rookie season. Like, usually they keep it together and don't do this until a couple of years later. When they
Then if they trade Pickens,
this guy was doing it in his rookie season, he was losing his fucking mind. So I agree with you, Bob. This guy might blow it all up on the way out. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make your point with you.
No, I agree.
I think you're right. I could see this happening because this kid, he's so talented, but he can't control himself. He loses his mind. He goes from 0 to 100 in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, the Steelers. I mean, you look at it for years, they didn't really go after too many of these big major conference guys, but you took Broderick. You're misusing Broderick. He's kind of a happy-go-lucky guy. Could you imagine if Broderick Jones was like Pickens as far as the way he reacts in the media? But you got guys now. Najee's another guy too. I know Leanne and Zach love Najee, and I don't hate Najee, but Najee's another guy who we go somewhere else might just be tempted to start letting cats out of the bag and saying, hey, I was misused. I was this. I was that. I think he's also a guy who occasionally will look for people to blame, especially if he goes somewhere else.
With Najee, it's funny. He doesn't know how to handle media either. He struggles with that too. And so absolutely, I could see him when he leaves to go wherever next season, definitely being like, yeah, it sucked there or something. I could see him saying something. I agree.
If we do end up trading George Pickens, or if he's not with the team next year, man, you got to draft one, you got to sign two, you're starting over.
So what do you want?
Got to tear it down.
But what do you want for him then? If you're going to trade him, what are you guys hoping they get?
You could get quite a bit, I think, even with his antics. He's so talented. A lot of people around the league love him.
But can you get a one? You can get a one?
Probably. I would think so, depending on what. Yeah.
I don't know though, because teams.
I think you can get a one fan.
I think you can get a top 40 pick.
Okay,
yeah,
and that'd be fine. Like if they could get a second round pick for him,
I think you can get a first, man.
You
hear the national media the way they talk about George Pickens.
But they know the Steelers are at a disadvantage though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. They can think he's but you can get Pickens cheap for a year, and then see if you can control him to the point where, okay, George, come here, be a good citizen, have a great year, and hey, man, then we get your rights, and we're going to retain you. And if not, come put up a big season and test.
I guarantee you, this is an Andy Reid guy. He loves those kind of guys, and he's the one that actually turns these guys around. And he's the one that does it.
I do not even want to think about Mahomes throwing to Pickens. That would make me want to throw up.
He would. I think the Steelers would not trade him there just because of that. I think that
Oh, there's no
they
doubt.
would be like, no, this is going to look bad on us.
You might as well hand them the goddamn ring if you do that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's also got to be the right team. You got to be a good team. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dude,
if all they can
Rice-
get is Carolina,
Rice and Pickens and the same wide receiver core with Worthy and Kelsey. And
Yeah. I mean, they probably wouldn't do it, but that'd be scary.
no, there's no way.
The Dolphins give up a first round pick for him.
They're not going to trade in the AFC unless it's too
They
good to
probably
pass
wouldn't.
up. Unless it's too good to pass up. Like if you
Imagine
offer them
him
a
and-
one, then they're probably going to take it. But
Imagine him in Washington with Jaden Daniels.
oh,
hey,
man.
you know what I would say? There's a chance that Justin Fields is going to walk, and the rumor is the Jets are going to be big players. If that's true, then you could easily talk to Jets into give us Garrett Wilson for Pickens straight up, because Fields and Pickens have a real bond. They like playing together. Hey, Justin, here's your number one. I think the Steelers kind of come out ahead. You get Garrett Wilson and the Jets second. That's a pretty good haul for George Pickens.
For some reason, if George Pickens isn't here, they'd have to throw the Acrisure Stadium at T. Higgins, so you can have the keys to that.
Yeah.
Anything you want,
Sign him,
anything you want.
draft one.
you'd have
Yeah,
to. You have to.
Yeah.
I
sign him,
agree.
cook, and draft one. Yep.
Yeah, that was part of my New Year's resolutions was go get T. Higgins. But that being said, I'm hearing that Joe Burrow is really intervening and saying, look, I don't care what you have to do. You have got to bring back Chase and Higgins. If that's the case and T. Higgins isn't available, the wide receiver free agent market is not very good.
Yeah, it drops
It is.
significantly.
All right, let's do a couple more before we get out of here. Over under 1.5 Steeler wins the rest of the season. I probably should have just left it at 1.
I was going to say 1.5.
Yeah.
We're
Let's say
begging,
1.
We're
Let's say
begging
1.
for 2, let alone.
Yeah, let's say over under 1 more win for the season for the Steelers. And I could get up to 4, but that would be
Yeah, that'd be great.
God,
would be something.
I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I think I'm going to stay at 1 or under.
Yeah, see 1.5 you got to get off the fence. You know, either they're going to
Dude, look, I don't feel great about them going to Houston either.
yeah.
They beat
No.
the shit out of us last year when we went there. Like
Coming off a loss, if they do lose to the Bengals, and then they got to try to muster
Correct.
up a win against the Texans.
I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about either one of them.
I definitely get it. I see it. I understand it. But the undying Steeler optimist in me will say,
Look,
I
you
think-
being positive, Bob.
yeah, when it comes to the Steelers, I could tell you all the things that I think are wrong, but ultimately, I'm still gonna usually pick them to win. I think we beat the Bengals. I think we go to Houston. I think we figure out a way, and then we go to Buffalo and get boat raced. So
Which is
that's how I
That's-
see it playing out.
Unfortunately, that's the best case scenario for this team. That's what's
Yeah.
sad. That's what's sad. Like you're just like, oh, best case scenario, we beat the Bengals, we beat Houston, and get the shit kicked out of us by Buffalo. Oh, call it a season.
Honestly, the best case might be we lose to the Bengals, they make the playoffs, the Bengals beat the Bills, and then we beat Baltimore, and then we hope we can
you're not
beat
beating
Kansas
Baltimore on
City.
the road. You're not beating Baltimore on the road in the playoffs. I would be shocked. I would be shocked.
I just the Steelers
I don't
just
think
can't
that's
get
as big a
past-
lock as everybody thinks it is.
Which
I don't
one?
think that
The
Baltimore has broken the
I mean,
chain.
out of the big three, Buffalo, them, and Kansas City, they have the best chance against Baltimore. I would agree with that, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see it. Look, if we somehow caught Baltimore in the second round in the divisional, oh yeah, I would like that. I would like the odds of for
Well,
us in that game.
Here's the thing, Dave. Like we didn't have 5 starters against Baltimore.
I know.
In Baltimore. Like I know they lost, was it 27-13 if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Like I understand that was bad.
34-17.
Or 34-17. Okay. And I know that's bad. But at the same time, when you're going an away game against a divisional opponent that wants to beat the shit out of you and you don't have 5 of your starters, and we lost Porter in that game, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Dude, that's a lot to overcome.
It is.
So that score to me. Now
I just think
beating them 18-16 in Pittsburgh with all your players. So I think that I think we're looking at two teams that are very even because we're usually pretty good with our starters in containing Lamar Jackson. So I think these are two teams that are pretty, if healthy, head to head, it shouldn't be a blowout either way. That's the way.
Yeah.
You also, if you catch them in the divisional, you're coming off a win. You're coming off a playoff win. So I think the confidence will be sky high. And let's face it, even in Baltimore with so many guys missing, I still think Russell Wilson doesn't fumble that ball as he's trying to run for the end zone. I think we win that game. I think Baltimore was ready to go in the tank, and that fumble gave them life, and that was it. So yeah, but if we catch it in the wild card, I think it would be different because now you're coming off 4 losses in a row. Baltimore just beat us. There's going to be a ton of negativity surrounding the players, the team, the coach. Yeah, I think that would be too much. But you catch them in the divisional, I think we got a chance.
Yeah, I'm not quite as optimistic. All right, I had a couple here, like who had more sacks, Henderson or Watt, but Watt's dinged up, so I don't even know if that's worth doing. And I had one with Chase Brown, but he's dinged up now. His last one. Let's go out on this. More receiving yards, Jamar Chase or all the Steelers wide receivers combined?
Ooh. I'm going to take all the wide receivers combined because I think Pickens is going to have a huge game.
Yeah, I probably would lean that way too.
Yeah.
Probably would lean that
I
way
mean,
too.
Really, you don't know.
So basically, it's Pickens against Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of undermining Higgins here if he's if he's able to play. He had a big game for them last week against Denver. I think he had 3 touchdowns.
He's a great wide receiver too, man. He's not at Chase's level, but he's pretty damn good.
He's not at Chase's speed level, but besides that, he's pretty damn fucking good.
I mean, T. Higgins probably be a number 1 on half the teams in the NFL.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not quite
sure,
top 10, but he's not much lower than top 15.
Yeah.
You brought up how Joe Burrow is kind of intervening, and the thing I heard somebody talking today on one of the podcasts I was listening to, it. And the thing they have to think about is, okay, Joe, if they're the Bengals general manager, he's like, okay, if you want T. Higgins back, you can't ask for $70 million a year in your next contract, which is up in 2 years.
Yeah.
Which is going to happen because the going rate's 50 now. 2 years from now, it's going to be 70. So he's going to demand.
60. Going rate is 60.
So it might be 80. So it might be 80 by then. If he's going to demand he wants T. Higgins back at a big rate, then he's going to have to agree, wink, wink deal where he's not going to ask for top of the line quarterback money. And is he going to do that?
My one buddy at work, he's a Bengals fan, so he's been paying attention to every single word that's said, with this. And I guess Higgins switched to Chase's agent, and then I guess he made the comment. Yeah, and then I guess they made the comment. He's made the comment. I don't need to be the top paid wide receiver in the league. He's like, I've got Joe Burrow as my quarterback. Like, do I really want a chance leaving that? So, I don't know if he's going to take a discount to stay there, but I don't know. I'd like to think one of them's going to want paid. So
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It could be done. There's teams doing it.
Yeah, but they're both free agents at the same time. Both of their deals are up.
Yeah.
So they got to get both of them done this year.
Yeah.
They cannot even stagger in it. Like, okay, we'll just sign this one this year and then worry about the next one.
If they pay both, probably their strategy is going to be pay the wide receivers, then go draft a defense. That's probably what they're going to do.
Yeah, the defense is going to be eternally bad. I don't know when Hendrickson's deal's up, but once he's gone, you're right, Dave. They better draft good because that's their only.
Yeah, they're going to have to hit on their draft picks on defense.
Well, and realistically, over the last couple of years, they kind of have. Honestly though, there is kind of a hidden factor there. Chivas is a good wide receiver. He's a good wide receiver. So
he's not at that level though.
Well,
they could live without T. Higgins.
He's their number 2. Yeah, he's a legit number 2 to me.
Oh, you talking about Andre Joseph or whatever how you pronounce his name? Yeah.
Or is it Yoshivas? I always say
Yoshivas. I say it wrong too. I'm horrible with the last name. But no, you're right. He's not bad either. That's what makes them.
They could live without T. Higgins. Yeah. It's just with him, they're so dynamic.
They are.
It's if I were them, I'd try to keep those 3 together and try to win a Super Bowl and then figure it out after. Figure out the cap 3 years from now and try to make a run. That's what I would do.
I don't know. We'll see. But from what my buddy was telling me, like it sounds like Higgins, he might not try to get big money, which I don't.
Bob's right. If he's off the market, the wide receiver free agent class is
It drops.
horrendous.
Yeah,
horrendous. And they say the draft's not that great this year either for wide receivers.
Mm.
It's not very good.
There's the one kid
From Arizona, the tall kid.
Yeah, is supposed to be like
and then
the next coming.
The Ohio State, not the really good one, but the other kid, Egbuka,
or whatever. Yeah,
he's supposed to be pretty good, and then it kind of. This is not the year. Don't I mean, you can find guys sometimes.
For what we need. I mean,
yeah,
it
really isn't. There's no quarterbacks in this draft. It's thin at wide receiver. It's supposed to be deep at edge and running back, which we don't need either one of those.
Well, we kind of do. We kind of need a running back. Not in the first 3 rounds.
You can go with Warren and sign any. So there's so many free agents that San Francisco doesn't every year.
Round draft pick. I mean, come on, you're not paying the guy anything. He's not even going to make $1 million.
I mean, if they want to draft one in the 3rd, 4th round, that's fine with me. Just please don't. No first round running backs.
No,
I could see that kid from Boise State falling, and everyone going crazy. It's like we can't do this again.
Kid.
I don't think Giante
Arizona State, Skipo or whatever his name is.
Oh, him too. Yeah, him too.
Yeah.
That kid was impressive.
Well,
that kid was impressive.
The reason why I could realistically see that is because he's not going to get drafted till further down the line. So,
but he helped his draft stock, man. He fucking played great.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
He might end up in the 2nd round.
Well,
the 3rd round, maybe.
We'll see. I don't know. People get hyped about things, then a year later, people kind of or not a year later. I'm sorry, but 4 months later, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Started doing my draft prep, but just glancing.
You started doing draft prep already? Look at you.
Yeah, no, I haven't started. But a little bit.
I've been digging a little bit.
Yeah, the kid from Texas is interesting.
Bond.
Isaiah Bond.
Yeah.
He's
supposed to be very fast. Yeah. Very fast.
And Steelers, assuming they, figure it out with Pickens or they break the bank for T. Higgins, what they need is a guy who's a route runner kind of guy. The Restrepo kid from Miami is pretty good.
Don't be shocked if it's the Egbuka kid from Ohio State. You heard the key words with him. Look up his thing. Great blocker.
Yeah.
that's got Mike Littleman's ears already.
Arthur Smith. I mean,
that's
all you need to hear. No.
That guy's got steel written all over him, and I like him. He's pretty good. Good route runner. They say the thing with him is how he runs his 40 time, because it's still some question how fast he is.
I don't think the Steelers would be able to get this guy, but I think Trey Harris will go to the combine, and just like many Ole Miss receivers in the past, will be a combine factor, and he could end up the top wide receiver.
Could be.
Could happen.
Could be. I wouldn't sleep on edge. This is a really deep edge class. That kid from Penn State, he won't fall to them, but Abdul Carter, he's
a first rounder, dude.
Yeah. Can you trade up for him?
No.
I think
we're not drafting.
I think it's hard not to take I think it's hard not to take a corner or a wide receiver in the first round.
They have to
take the best play. It's a well, I don't know about corner. I haven't really heard much about corner, but it's down for wide receiver this year. So I don't know.
But you go get one of the top ones in the first round.
Yeah. I guess.
Guys, they have to go get a wide receiver. I mean, like, if they don't sign one, if they sign one, either way, they're going to need a wide receiver. They're going to get a wide receiver. I mean,
are you guys planning on going to the draft in Pittsburgh in 26? We've talked about it. Dave's in Pittsburgh.
I will be there, like, guaranteed.
I'm not a big crowds guy, but I might have to make an exception for that.
First and second nights I could do. I don't know that I'd want. I love the draft.
Yeah.
I would not want to be there for the 3rd day.
Yeah, just the first day.
Yeah. For me,
or the second. Honestly, I like the second day because you get 2 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do first day and second day, but I would also like to be at from what I've been told, the convention center is going to have like all the Pat McAfee and all the different shows. The convention center here in Pittsburgh is going to have. So, like, for me, oh my God, I'm going to go watch all that stuff. And then I guess they'll have draft stores to buy draft, like draft different like hats and different stuff like that. Dude, I can't wait. Like, it's going to be incredible. My son and I are just giddy over this. Can't wait.
Can't wait to hold up that Arch Manning Steelers jersey.
All All right, guys, we've gone long today, so we appreciate all you guys in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, both our YouTube channel and our podcast. We appreciate the comments. If you listen to this after and not live, leave comments. That helps us out a lot, really a lot. Anything else before we go? Last words of wisdom before we get out of here? Oh, don't forget our store. We got our our merch. Don't forget the Steel Sanctuary merch. That's big.
Yeah.
And all right, so that's it, and we'll see you next time. Next time we're together will be Monday.
Talking
It
about
could go
Steel
either way.
Victory.
Yes, hopefully.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Motherfucker! You motherfucker! That is it!
That's it. What the fuck you talking about? That's it. Take it back, Daddy.
No more!